waste of space." Brad said it loud enough that the whole table went quiet. My daughter Jennifer sat there looking at her plate. Didn't say a word. I smiled, set down my fork, pulled out my phone and made one call. Took about 15 seconds. When Brad's phone rang 2 minutes later, his face went white. What he didn't know was that call was just the beginning. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and write in the comments what time it is where you are now. I'm Walter, 72 years old, retired union electrician, widower for 3 years. Christmas dinner at Jennifer's house, the house I'd put $38,000 down on when she and Brad bought it 6 years ago. The dining room table I'd helped Brad assemble because he couldn't figure out which screws went where. Jennifer had invited me at 4:00 p.m. Dinner was at 6 o'clock. I showed up at 5:45 with gifts. A Lego set for my grandson Tommy, 8 years old, good kid. A cashmere scarf for Jennifer, expensive, the kind her mother used to wear. Brad opened the door, didn't smile. "Walter, you're early." Not "Merry Christmas," not "Dad," just my first name, like I was the meter reader. "Dinner's at 6, thought I'd help. We've got it handled." He stood in the doorway, didn't move aside. Jennifer appeared behind him. "Dad, come in, it's freezing." Brad stepped back, barely. The house smelled like ham. Real ham, not the spiral-cut grocery store kind. I'd taught Jennifer how to glaze it, brown sugar and cloves, same recipe her mother used. Tommy ran up. "Grandpa!" "Hey, buddy." I handed him the Lego set. His face lit up. "Brad, look, it's the—" "Tommy, go wash your hands. Dinner's almost ready." Brad's voice, flat, cold. Tommy's smile disappeared. He went upstairs, didn't look back. I set Jennifer's gift on the entry table. She hugged me, quick, the kind of hug you give someone when your husband's watching. "Thanks for coming, Dad. Wouldn't miss it." The table was set for 7. Me, Jennifer, Brad, Tommy, and Brad's parents, Richard and Susan. I'd met them twice. Both times they'd spent the evening talking about their Mediterranean cruise and their timeshare in Scottsdale. They arrived at 6:05. Susan kissed the air near Jennifer's cheek. Richard shook Brad's hand like they were closing a business deal. "Walter." Richard nodded at me. Didn't offer his hand. "Richard, Susan, Merry Christmas." Susan smiled. Tight. The kind of smile that doesn't reach the eyes. We sat down. I ended up between Tommy and the wall, Brad at the head of the table, Jennifer at the other end, Richard and Susan on either side of Brad like bookends. Jennifer brought out the ham. Beautiful, golden, cloves studded in a diamond pattern, just like Martha used to make. "Looks perfect, sweetheart." "Thanks, Dad. I used your recipe." Brad carved. Didn't ask if I wanted a piece. Just started serving his parents first. Richard launched into a story about their new Lexus. Hybrid, 48 miles per gallon. Leather interior. Brad nodded along like it was the most fascinating thing he'd ever heard. I helped Tommy cut his ham. He was struggling with the knife. Brad noticed. "He needs to learn to do it himself, Walter. He's 8. He's capable." I set down the knife. Tommy picked it up, kept cutting. His hand shook a little. Susan started talking about their investment portfolio, how well their stocks had done, how their financial advisor had predicted the market trend. Brad chimed in about his own portfolio, his Bitcoin investments, his Roth IRA. Jennifer just ate, quiet. I asked Tommy about school. He told me about his science project, something about volcanoes. He was excited, used his hands to show me how the baking soda and vinegar made the eruption. Tommy inside voice. Brad didn't look up from his plate. Tommy's hands dropped. We ate in silence for a while. Then Richard turned to me. "So, Walter, Jennifer tells us you're retired. 3 years now. Must be nice, having all that free time." "I stay busy." "Doing what?" Susan leaned forward, curious or pretending to be. Woodworking, volunteering at the community center. I teach basic electrical repair. Oh. Susan sat back, lost interest immediately. Brad refilled his wine glass. Fourth time. I'd counted. Dad volunteers because he's bored, Brad said. Nothing else to do. Jennifer's fork stopped halfway to her mouth. I do it because people need help. Single mothers who can't afford an electrician, seniors on fixed incomes. Right. Brad drank. Very noble. Richard laughed. Short, sharp. Well, someone has to do it, I suppose. The people who can't provide for themselves. I set down my fork. Carefully. The people I help work 2 jobs. They provide just fine. They just can't afford a $150 service call to fix an outlet. If they manage their money better. Richard, Jennifer's voice. Quiet, but firm. Susan changed the subject. Started talking about their country club. The new golf course. The restaurant renovation. I glanced at Jennifer. She was looking at her plate again. The way she used to look when she was 16 and wanted to tell me something but didn't know how. Dessert was pie. Apple. Store-bought. I could tell from the crust. Too perfect. No crimped edges. Martha used to make apple pie from scratch. Taught Jennifer how. Guess Jennifer didn't have time anymore. We ate pie. Richard told another story about their financial advisor. Susan mentioned their summer plans. Europe. 3 weeks. First class. Brad poured himself another glass of wine. 5th. Tommy asked if he could be excused. Brad said yes. Tommy went upstairs. I heard the Lego box open. The sound of pieces dumping onto the floor. He's going to leave those all over, Brad muttered. He's playing. He's happy. He makes a mess. Doesn't clean up after himself. He's 8 years old. That's no excuse. Brad looked at me, eyes little unfocused, wine hitting him. You probably let Jennifer get away with everything too. That's why she can't stick to a budget. Jennifer's face went red. Brad, what? It's true. Your dad probably never taught you about money, just threw cash at every problem. My jaw tightened. I taught Jennifer the value of money. She put herself through college, worked 2 jobs. Yeah, and still needed Daddy to bail her out for the house down payment. Jennifer stood up, started clearing plates. Her hands shook. That was a gift, I said. Not a bailout. $38,000. That's a pretty expensive gift. It was for my daughter. Right. Brad leaned back, swirled his wine. Must be nice, having that kind of money to throw around. Meanwhile, you live in that little house. What is it, 1,200 square feet? 1,100. It's enough for me. Could sell it. Probably get, what, 280,000? 300? I didn't answer. That's a lot of equity just sitting there, doing nothing. You could downsize, get a condo, invest the difference. Richard nodded. Smart thinking. No reason to keep a whole house when it's just you. Jennifer came back from the kitchen. Brad, can you help me with something? In a minute. She stood there, holding an empty serving platter, waiting. Brad ignored her. Walter, you ever think about what happens to that house when you're gone? Estate taxes are brutal. You should really set up a trust, transfer assets before… Brad, Jennifer's voice, louder now. What? Can we not do this on Christmas? Do what? I'm just talking about basic financial planning. Your dad's 72. He needs to think about this stuff. He doesn't need to think about it right now. At dinner. Brad shrugged. Drank more wine. Susan smiled. Brad's just being practical, Jennifer. It's good to plan ahead. Richard agreed. Estate planning is important. We have everything set up in a trust. Very efficient. Our attorney handled it all. I have a will, I said. A will? Brad laughed. That's it? No trust? No beneficiary designations? Jesus, Walter. That's basically asking the state to take half your assets. It's not half. Close enough. You really should talk to our attorney. I could set up a meeting. I'm good. You're stubborn. That's what you are. Brad finished his wine, poured another glass. Bottle was empty. He got up, went to the kitchen, came back with a new bottle. Jennifer was still standing, still holding the platter. Brad, I need help in the kitchen. I'm talking to your dad. It can wait. No, it can't. He opened the new bottle, filled his glass to the rim. Your dad's sitting on $300,000 in real estate, living alone, not doing anything productive with it. Meanwhile, we're drowning in daycare costs and student loans. Brad, stop. Why? It's the truth. We're struggling. He's sitting on a pile of money. That's his money. It'll be your money eventually. Why wait? He could help us now, when we actually need it. I stood up. Thanks for dinner, Jennifer. It was great. Dad, don't go. It's late. It's 7:30. Brad didn't stand, just looked at me, wine glass in hand. What, you can't handle a little honest conversation? I can handle honesty just fine, really, because you look pretty uncomfortable. Brad, Jennifer's voice, shaking now. What? I'm just saying what everyone's thinking. Your dad's retired, no job, no responsibilities, living alone in a house way too big for one person, not contributing anything, just existing. Richard chuckled. Susan smiled into her wine glass. Jennifer set down the platter, hard. It clattered against the table. That's enough. Is it? Your dad shows up here with his cheap presents? The Lego set was $60, I said. Quiet. $60. Wow. Big spender. Meanwhile, you gave Jennifer what, $38,000 for this house? Gave her $10,000 for her car 3 years ago? How much for the wedding? 20? 25? The wedding was $32,000. The number came out before I could stop it. Brad whistled. $32,000 for one day. And now you're too broke to help with daycare? I never said I was broke. But you're not offering, are you? You're just sitting there, judging me, acting like I'm wrong for pointing out that you could help your own daughter. I've helped Jennifer plenty. Yeah, past tense. Helped. What about now? She hasn't asked. She shouldn't have to ask. You're her father. You should see she's struggling and step up. Jennifer's face was red, eyes wet. Brad, please stop. Why? Why should I stop? He stood up, wobbled a little. You know what? I'm sick of this. I'm sick of pretending. Your dad sits in his house, alone, does nothing all day, and we're killing ourselves working, paying bills, raising Tommy, and he can't be bothered to help. I help with Tommy all the time. Yeah, you babysit. Big deal. That's what grandparents do. I'm talking about real help. Money. The thing that actually matters. Money isn't the only thing that matters. Brad laughed. Spoken like someone who has it. You own your house. No mortgage, no debt. Your pension covers everything. You have no idea what it's like. I worked for 47 years. So what? You want a medal? Congratulations, Walter. You did the bare minimum, worked a job, retired with a pension, and now you're coasting. Meanwhile, we're drowning. Brad, that's not fair. Jennifer's voice, barely above a whisper. Fair? You want to talk about fair? Your dad gave you $38,000 for this house. You know what he's given Tommy? Some Legos, a savings bond, $50 for his birthday. He gave you tens of thousands. He gives his grandson nothing. That's not true. It is true. He spent a fortune on you, on your wedding, your house, your car, and now he's done. He's checked out because he got you married off and now you're someone else's problem. I felt something cold spread through my chest. Is that what you think? That's what I know. Brad leaned against the table. You did your job, raised Jennifer, paid for the wedding, handed her off to me. Now you're just a waste of space. The words hung there. Jennifer sucked in a breath. Richard looked at his plate. Susan studied her wine glass. Tommy appeared at the top of the stairs. Mom, Jennifer's voice cracked. Go back to your room, sweetie. But now. Tommy disappeared. I picked up my coat from the back of my chair, put it on, slowly, hands steady. Jennifer grabbed my arm. Dad, I'm so sorry. He didn't mean... It's fine. It's not fine. Brad, apologize. Brad shrugged. For what? Telling the truth? I looked at Jennifer. Her eyes were red, tears on her cheeks. Merry Christmas, sweetheart. Dad, please don't go. I kissed her forehead. I love you. I walked to the door, opened it. The cold air hit my face. Sharp, clean. Behind me, I heard Jennifer's voice. How could you say that to him? Brad's voice. Loud, slurred. Oh, come on. He's fine. Stop being so dramatic. I closed the door, walked to my truck, got in, sat there for a minute, engine off, hands on the wheel. Then I pulled out my phone, made a call. Linda, it's Walter. Sorry to bother you on Christmas. I need to ask you something. Linda Patterson, my attorney, 68 years old, sharp as a razor. We'd gone to high school together. She'd handled Martha's estate after she died. Walter, what's wrong? Nothing's wrong. I need to make some changes to my will. How soon can we meet? Changes? What kind of changes? I'll explain when I see you. Can you do Monday? Monday's the 27th, day after Christmas. I'll be in the office around 10 o'clock. I'll be there. I hung up, started the truck. My phone buzzed. Text from Jennifer. Dad, please come back. I'm so sorry. I set the phone down, drove home. The house was dark. I'd left the porch light on, but the inside was black, cold. I unlocked the door, turned on the lights. The living room looked empty. No tree, no decorations. Didn't see the point. Just me. I sat down at the kitchen table, the one I'd built from oak 35 years ago. Same table where Martha and I had our coffee every morning. Same table where Jennifer did her homework, where we played Monopoly on Friday nights. I opened my laptop, logged into my bank account. The numbers glowed on the screen. Checking account, $38,247. Savings account, $127,830. Pension, $3,200 per month. Social Security, $2,100 per month. House paid off, no mortgage. Zillow estimated it at $285,000. Probably accurate. Small house, good neighborhood. Near the elementary school. I opened my spreadsheet, the one I'd been keeping for 6 years. Every dollar I'd given Jennifer, every transfer, every check, every cash gift. House down payment, $38,000. June 2018. Wedding, $32,000. September 2016. Jennifer's car, $10,000. March 2020. Tommy's medical bills, $4,200. July 2019. Some kind of surgery. I didn't ask questions, just sent the money. Emergency fund for new furnace, $3,800. January 2021. Helped with credit card debt, $6,500. November 2021. Christmas gifts every year, average $800. Tommy's birthday gifts, average $200. Random transfers when Jennifer texted asking for help. $400 here, $600 there, $250 for groceries, $180 for Tommy's school supplies. I added it up, $98,340 in 6 years. Not counting the small stuff, the dinners I'd paid for, the gas money I'd slipped Jennifer when I knew she was struggling, the tools I'd bought Brad when he wanted to start his handyman business that lasted about 3 months. Call it an even $100,000. I sat there staring at the screen. Waste of space. My phone buzzed again. Jennifer. Dad, please answer. Brad's drunk. He didn't mean it. Please call me. I set the phone down. Opened a new browser tab. Searched for retirement communities. The nice kind. Independent living, places where meals were included, where maintenance was handled, where I wouldn't be rattling around in an 1,100 square foot house by myself. Found one about 15 minutes away. Meadowbrook Senior Living. 1-bedroom apartments, $2,400 a month. Included 2 meals a day. Housekeeping, activities, transportation. I could afford that. Easily. Pension and Social Security would cover it with money left over. Sell the house for $285,000 after realtor fees and closing costs. Probably clear $260,000. Put it in the bank. Live off the interest. Leave it to who? That was the question. My phone rang. Jennifer. I let it go to voicemail. She called again. I turned off the phone, poured myself a drink. Whiskey. The good stuff Martha bought me for our 40th anniversary. I'd been saving it. Didn't know what for. This seemed like the right occasion. I sat in the living room, in Martha's chair, the blue one by the window, leather worn smooth from years of her reading there. The house was quiet, just the heater rattling. Same heater I'd installed 20 years ago. Probably needed replacing soon. I thought about Brad's words. Waste of space. Is that what I was? 72 years old. Retired. Widower. No job. No purpose except existing. I'd worked for 47 years. Started as an apprentice electrician at 19, worked my way up to journeyman, then master electrician. Ran jobs, trained apprentices, retired at 66 with a full pension and benefits. I'd been married to Martha for 49 years, raised Jennifer, put her through college, paid for her wedding, helped her buy her house. I volunteered at the community center, taught basic electrical repair to people who couldn't afford to hire someone, fixed outlets, replaced light fixtures, showed single mothers how to reset a breaker. But to Brad, I was a waste of space. I finished the whiskey, went to bed. Didn't sleep much. Monday morning, I drove to Linda's office. Small practice, 3 attorneys. Linda specialized in estates and elder law. She met me in the lobby, hugged me. "Walter, you look tired." "Didn't sleep great." "Coffee?" "Please." We sat in her office. She poured coffee from a pot on the credenza. Real coffee, not the K-cup nonsense. "So, you want to change your will?" "Yeah." "What kind of changes?" "I want to remove Jennifer as beneficiary." Linda set down her cup. "Walter, I know what I'm doing." "Do you? Because removing your only child from your will is a big step." "I'm aware." "What happened?" I told her. The whole story. Christmas dinner, Brad's comments, the waste of space line. Linda listened, didn't interrupt. When I finished, she sat back. "Brad sounds like a piece of work." "He is. But Jennifer didn't say those things. Brad did. She didn't stop him. She tried. Not hard enough." Linda sighed. "Walter, I've known you for 50 years. You're not impulsive. You're not vindictive. This doesn't sound like you. Maybe I'm tired of being taken for granted. So talk to Jennifer. Tell her how you feel." I did, 100 times. She says she understands. Then Brad opens his mouth and she says nothing. She's in a tough spot. So am I. Linda picked up a legal pad. "Okay, let's talk options. You want Jennifer removed as beneficiary. Who do you want to leave everything to?" "I don't know yet." "Charity?" "Maybe." "Tommy?" I paused. "Tommy's 8. If I leave it to him, Jennifer and Brad will control it until he's 18. We can set up a trust. Name an independent trustee. Make sure the money's used for Tommy's benefit. Education, health care, not Brad's lifestyle." I thought about that. Tommy, good kid, loved Legos, liked science, deserved better than Brad's example. Who would be trustee? You'd need to name someone, a friend, another attorney, a bank. "What about you?" Linda raised an eyebrow. "Me?" "You're honest. You knew Martha. You'd make sure the money went to Tommy, not Brad." "I'd charge a fee, standard trustee rate." "I don't care. I trust you." She made notes. "Okay, so we set up a trust for Tommy. Name me as trustee. Fund it with the proceeds from your estate. House, bank accounts, everything." "What about Jennifer?" "She gets nothing, unless you want to leave her something small, a token amount." "Like what?" $1,000, $5,000. Enough that she can't claim she was accidentally omitted." "She wasn't accidentally omitted." "I know, but it helps avoid challenges. If you leave her nothing, she could argue you forgot. If you leave her a small amount, it shows intent." "Fine, 5,000. Linda wrote it down. "This will hurt her, Walter." "I know. She'll be devastated. Maybe. Or maybe she'll realize I'm not a wallet." Linda looked at me, long and hard. "You're sure about this?" "I'm sure. Once it's done, it's done." You can change it later, but it'll hurt. I know. I'm okay with that. She nodded. I'll draft the documents. Should have them ready by Wednesday. You can come in and sign. Thanks, Linda. I stood up to leave. She stopped me. Walter, for what it's worth, I don't think you're a waste of space. Thanks. I drove home. My phone had 17 missed calls, 14 from Jennifer, 3 from Brad. I listened to Jennifer's voicemails. Dad, please call me back. I need to talk to you. Dad, Brad feels terrible. He was drunk. He didn't mean it. Dad, you're scaring me. Please just let me know you're okay. Brad's voicemails were different. Walter, it's Brad. Look, I had too much wine. I said some things I shouldn't have. Let's just move past this. Walter, Jennifer's really upset. You need to call her. She's your daughter. Jesus Christ, Walter, you're really going to throw a tantrum over this? Grow up. I deleted them all. Tuesday morning, Jennifer showed up at my house. 8:30 a.m. I heard her car in the driveway. Saw her through the window. She sat there for a minute before getting out. She knocked. I opened the door. Dad? Jennifer? Can I come in? I stepped aside. She walked past me, stopped in the living room, looked around like she hadn't seen it in years. You want coffee? No, I want to talk. I sat down in Martha's chair. Jennifer sat on the couch. Dad, I'm so sorry. Brad was completely out of line. Yes. He's under a lot of stress. Work's been hard. We're behind on bills. He drinks too much when he's stressed. That's not my problem. She flinched. I know. I'm not making excuses. I'm just explaining. I don't need an explanation. I need an apology. From him. He's embarrassed. He should be. He wants to apologize. He's just proud. So was I, until Christmas dinner. Jennifer's eyes filled with tears. Dad, please. He's my husband. I know he was wrong, but I love him. I know you do. And he loves me. He's a good father to Tommy. He provides for us. He's just struggling right now. Jennifer, I leaned forward. I've given you $100,000 in 6 years. She went pale. What? House down payment, wedding, car, medical bills, furnace, credit cards, random transfers every time you asked for help. It adds up to $100,000. I didn't know it was that much. I kept track. Dad, I'll pay you back. I don't want you to pay me back. It was a gift, all of it. Then what's the problem? The problem is Brad called me a waste of space, in front of his parents, in front of you, in front of Tommy. He was drunk. Drunk words are sober thoughts. Jennifer wiped her eyes. What do you want me to do? I want you to stand up for me. I want you to tell Brad that his behavior was unacceptable. I want you to set boundaries. I tried. I told him to stop. You told him, once. Then you got quiet, like you always do. That's not fair, isn't it? How many times have I bitten my tongue because I didn't want to cause problems? How many times have I handed over money because you asked and I didn't want to say no? How many times have I watched Brad treat you like garbage and said nothing because you asked me not to? She looked at the floor. I didn't know you felt that way. Now you do. She sat there, silent. Then she looked up. What happens now? Now I take care of myself. What does that mean? It means I'm done being the bank. I'm done being the backup plan. I'm done being taken for granted. Dad, you're not. Yes, I am. And I let it happen. That's on me. But it stops now. So what? You're just cutting me off? Is that it? I'm not cutting you off. I'm setting boundaries. What kind of boundaries? No more money. No more bailouts. No more emergency transfers. Her face crumpled. Dad, we need help. The daycare costs are killing us. Brad's student loans, that's your problem, not mine. But you're my father. And you're a grown woman with a husband and a child. You need to figure it out. We can't. Not without help. Then downsize. Sell the house. Move somewhere cheaper. Get rid of Brad's truck. Cut expenses. Brad would never agree to that. Then Brad needs to get a second job. He works 60 hours a week. So did I, for 47 years. Jennifer stood up. This isn't fair. Life isn't fair, Jennifer. I learned that when your mother died, and I had to figure out how to live alone. You'll learn it too. She grabbed her purse, headed for the door, stopped, turned around. You're really going to do this? Punish me because of what Brad said? I'm not punishing you. I'm protecting myself. From what? From being a waste of space. She stared at me, then she left. Door closed hard behind her. I sat there for a long time. The house was quiet, just the clock ticking. Same clock that had been on that wall for 28 years. My phone buzzed. Text from Jennifer. I can't believe you're doing this. I didn't respond. Wednesday, I went back to Linda's office. She had the documents ready. Trust agreement, new will, power of attorney designating Linda as my agent if I became incapacitated. I read through everything, signed where she indicated. She notarized it, filed the original in her safe. It's done, she said. Good. How do you feel? Lighter. She walked me to the door. Walter, if you change your mind, I won't. I drove home, stopped at the hardware store on the way, bought new locks for my doors, front and back, installed them that afternoon. Took about an hour. Muscle memory. I'd been changing locks for 50 years. When I was done, I had the only keys. Jennifer's key wouldn't work anymore. Neither would the spare I'd given her when she and Brad bought the house. My phone rang. Brad, I answered. Yeah. Walter, we need to talk. I'm listening. Jennifer's upset. Really upset. She says you're cutting her off. That's right. Over what I said at Christmas? Jesus, Walter, I apologized. No, you didn't. Silence. You left 3 voicemails. None of them were apologies. One of them told me to grow up. I was frustrated. You were out of line. Fine, I'm sorry. Is that what you want to hear? Not particularly. Not when you don't mean it. What do you want from me? Nothing. I don't want anything from you. Then why are you doing this? Because you called me a waste of space. And Jennifer let you. She didn't let me. She told me to stop. Once. Quietly. Then she sat there while you kept going. So, this is about Jennifer? You're punishing her? I'm setting boundaries. By cutting off your own daughter? That's insane. That's my decision. You're going to regret this. Maybe, but it'll be my regret. What about Tommy? You're really going to abandon your grandson? I'm not abandoning anyone. Tommy's welcome to visit anytime. So is Jennifer. But the ATM is closed. Brad laughed. Sharp, bitter. This is about money. You're mad because I pointed out that you could help more and you're choosing not to. I've helped plenty. Not enough. It'll never be enough, Brad. That's the point. I could give you every dollar I have and it wouldn't be enough. You'd still find something to complain about. That's not true. Isn't it? I gave Jennifer $38,000 for your house. You didn't say thank you. You said the house was too small. I gave you $10,000 for Jennifer's car. You said it was used. I paid for your wedding, $32,000. You complained about the photographer. Silence. I'm done, Brad. I'm done being your safety net. Figure it out. I hung up. Thursday morning, I called Meadowbrook Senior Living, scheduled a tour for Friday afternoon. The facility was nice, clean, bright. 1-bedroom apartments with full kitchens, communal dining room, library, fitness center, game room. The director showed me an available unit. 2nd floor, corner apartment, big windows, view of the courtyard. Rent is $2,400 per month, includes 2 meals a day, housekeeping once a week, all utilities except phone and internet, month-to-month lease. I'll take it. Don't you want to think about it? No, I'll take it. She blinked. Okay. When would you like to move in? As soon as possible. We have availability February 1st. Perfect. I signed the lease. Paid first month's rent and security deposit, $4,800. Wrote the check without hesitation. Drove home and called a realtor. Nancy Mitchell. Sold Martha and me our house back in 1983. Still in business, 70 years old and sharp as ever. Walter, how are you? Good, Nancy. I need to sell my house. Your house? Why? Downsizing. Moving to Meadowbrook. Oh, well, good for you. Those places are nice. When do you want to list? Soon as possible. Let me pull some comps. I'll come by tomorrow, and we'll talk price. She came by Saturday morning, walked through the house, took notes, took pictures. House is in great shape, Walter. You've maintained it well. Thanks. I'm thinking we list at $289,000. Should sell quick. Good neighborhood. Near the school. Sounds good. I'll drop the paperwork. We can list it Monday. Perfect. She left. I started packing. Didn't have much. Martha's clothes were gone. Donated them 2 years ago. Most of the furniture was old. Heavy. Didn't need it at Meadowbrook. Apartment came furnished. I packed my clothes, my tools, Martha's photo albums, my laptop, a few books. Everything else could go. Sell it, donate it, throw it away. Didn't matter. My phone rang. Jennifer. Dad, Nancy Mitchell called me. She says you're selling the house. That's right. Why didn't you tell me? Didn't think I needed to. It's your house, our house, where I grew up. It's my house, Jennifer, not yours. I know, but why are you selling? Because I don't need it. I'm moving to Meadowbrook. The senior living place? Yes. Dad, you don't need to live there. You're fine on your own. I'm tired of being on my own. Then come live with us. I laughed. Couldn't help it. Live with you and Brad? That sounds like a nightmare. Dad? Jennifer, I'm 72 years old. I'm widowed. I'm alone. I rattle around in this house by myself. Meadowbrook has people, activities, meals. It's a better fit. But the house is just a building. It's not Martha. It's not you. It's walls and floors and a roof that needs replacing. What about the money from the sale? What about it? Are you going to help us with it? I closed my eyes. No, Jennifer. But no, the money from the house is mine. I'm keeping it. All of it. All of it. She was quiet for a long time. Then, I don't understand. You've always helped us. Why are you stopping now? Because Brad called me a waste of space, and you let him. I said I was sorry. I know, but sorry doesn't fix it. Sorry doesn't change the fact that you sat there and let your husband insult me in my face on Christmas. What do you want me to do? Nothing. I don't want you to do anything. I want you to live your life, raise Tommy, figure out your finances, be happy. How can I be happy when you're doing this? That's up to you. She hung up. The house listed on Monday. Priced at $289,000. Nancy said we'd probably get offers by the weekend. She was right. By Friday, we had 3 offers. One at asking price, one at $295,000, one at $302,000 cash. I took the cash offer. Closed in 3 weeks. February 21st, I signed the closing documents. Walked away with a check for $278,400 after Nancy's commission and closing costs. Deposited the check. My bank account went from $166,077 to $444,477. I stared at the number. That was more money than I'd ever had in my life, more than Martha and I had saved in 49 years of marriage. And it was mine. All mine. February 28th, I moved into Meadowbrook. Hired movers for the furniture I was keeping. Took about 4 hours. Unpacked that evening. The apartment felt small, clean, quiet in a different way than the house. I met my neighbors, Helen and Frank on one side, retired teachers, Joyce across the hall, widow, lost her husband 5 years ago. We had dinner in the communal dining room, pot roast, mashed potatoes, green beans. Not bad. After dinner, Joyce asked if I played cards. I said yes. We played gin rummy until 10 o'clock p.m. I slept better that night than I had in months. March came. I settled into a routine. Breakfast at 8 o'clock. Coffee in the courtyard. Volunteering at the community center 3 days a week. Lunch in the dining room. Afternoons playing cards or reading. Dinner at 6 o'clock. TV or socializing in the evening. I didn't hear from Jennifer, didn't hear from Brad. I did hear from Tommy. Nancy called me. "Walter, I have a message for you. From your grandson." "From Tommy?" "Yes. He called my office. Asked me to give you his number. Said his mom and dad won't let him call you." My chest tightened. "They won't let him?" "That's what he said. He seemed upset. I told him I'd pass along the message." She gave me Tommy's cell phone number. I didn't know he had a cell phone. 8 years old seemed young. But what did I know? I called him that evening. He answered on the first ring. "Grandpa?" "Hey, buddy. I miss you." His voice cracked. "I miss you too. Why don't you come over anymore?" "It's complicated, Tommy. Mom says you're mad at us. I'm not mad at you. Then why won't you visit?" I sat down. This was harder than I thought. "Tommy, your dad said some things that hurt my feelings, and I needed some space. Dad says you're being selfish." My jaw tightened. "Does he?" "He says you have lots of money and you won't share it." "Tommy, it's not about money." "Then what's it about? How do you explain this to an 8-year-old? How do you tell your grandson that his father is a parasite and his mother is an enabler?" "It's about respect, buddy. Your dad didn't respect me, and that hurt." "I respect you, Grandpa." "I know you do." "Can I see you?" "Of course. Anytime you want." "Mom says I can't." "What?" "She says you're going through something and I need to give you space." I stood up, paced. "Tommy, you can always see me. Always. You hear me?" "But Mom..." "Your mom is wrong. You call me. Anytime. And I'll come get you. Okay?" "Okay." "I mean it. You want to see me, you call. I'll be there." "Okay, Grandpa. I gotta go. Dad's coming upstairs." He hung up. I sat there holding the phone, blood pounding in my ears. They were keeping Tommy from me, using him as leverage, trying to force me to back down. I called Linda. "Linda, they're keeping Tommy from me." "What?" I explained. The phone call. What Tommy said. Linda listened. Then, "Walter, they can't legally keep you from your grandson. You have grandparent visitation rights." "I don't want to take them to court." "You might have to, if they're using Tommy as a weapon." "Jesus. Let me make some calls, see what our options are." She called back the next day. "I talked to a family law attorney. Here's the situation. In this state, grandparents can petition for visitation rights if it's in the child's best interest. But you have to prove that denying visitation would harm the child." "How do I prove that?" "Testimony. Evidence that you have a relationship with Tommy, that he wants to see you, that denying access is harmful." "This is insane." "I know. But if Jennifer and Brad are serious about keeping you away, this is the only option." "What about Tommy's phone call? He said he wants to see me." "That helps, but we'd need more. Letters, texts, proof of your relationship." "I have years of proof. Birthday cards, photos. I watched him every week for 3 years while Jennifer worked." "Good. Keep all of it. If we have to file a petition, we'll need it." I hung up, sat there staring at the wall. This was what it had come to. Legal action, just to see my grandson. I spent the next week compiling evidence. Photos of me and Tommy, birthday cards he'd made me, texts from Jennifer asking me to babysit, my calendar showing every Tuesday and Thursday afternoon I'd watched him. 3 years' worth of evidence, proof that I'd been a present, active grandfather. On March 15th, Jennifer called. "Dad, we need to talk." "I'm listening." "Brad and I talked. We think it's best if you don't see Tommy for a while." "Excuse me?" "Just until things settle down. You're going through a lot. You sold your house. You moved. You're clearly not yourself." "I'm perfectly fine." "You cut us off, Dad. You changed your will. Nancy told me. She thought I knew." "Nancy had no business telling you that. She felt bad. She thought we'd had a falling out, and she wanted to help. My will is none of your business." "It is when you cut me out of it. You're not cut out. You're getting $5,000. She laughed, sharp, bitter. $5,000, after everything. After $100,000 in gifts. Yes. You're really doing this. You're really going to leave everything to Tommy. Tommy's trust. Yes. And you don't see how that's manipulative? How that's punishing me? I see it as protecting my grandson, making sure he has money for college, for his future, money that Brad can't touch. Brad wouldn't. Brad would, in a heartbeat, and you'd let him. She was quiet. Then, you're not seeing Tommy. Watch me. I'm his mother. I decide who he sees. I'm filing for grandparent visitation. You're what? You heard me. You want to keep me from Tommy? I'll see you in court. Dad, you can't be serious. Try me. This is insane. You're tearing this family apart over money. I'm not tearing anything apart. You and Brad did that. I'm just protecting myself and Tommy. If you file, we'll fight it. Brad's already talked to a lawyer. So have I. She hung up. I called Linda. File the petition. Walter, are you sure? I'm sure. Linda filed the petition on March 18th. Petition for grandparent visitation, citing my existing relationship with Tommy, citing Jennifer and Brad's refusal to allow contact, requesting court-ordered visitation. Jennifer and Brad were served on March 22nd. Brad called me. You son of a bitch. Hello, Brad. You're really doing this? Taking us to court? You left me no choice. We left you no choice? You cut us off. You sold your house. You rewrote your will. You started this. No, you started this. On Christmas, when you called me a waste of space. I was drunk. I know. That's when the truth comes out. This is going to cost us thousands in legal fees. That's your problem. You know what? Fine. Go ahead. Take us to court. The judge will see that you're a bitter old man trying to control us with money. You'll lose. We'll see. He hung up. The first hearing was scheduled for April 12th. Linda and I met the week before to prepare. Here's what's going to happen, she said. The judge will ask why you're seeking visitation. You'll explain your relationship with Tommy, the time you spent with him, why it's important. What will Jennifer and Brad say? They'll argue that you're manipulating them, that you're using Tommy to punish Jennifer, that your behavior has been erratic. Erratic? Selling your house, moving, changing your will. They'll paint it as evidence that you're not stable. That's ridiculous. I know, but they'll try. We counter with evidence. Photos, texts, testimony from Tommy if necessary. Tommy's 8. I don't want him testifying. He won't have to, not in open court. The judge might speak to him privately, ask what he wants. He wants to see me. Then we'll make sure the judge knows that. April 12th. I wore a suit. Same suit I'd worn to Martha's funeral. Still fit. Linda and I sat on one side of the courtroom. Jennifer and Brad sat on the other with their attorney. Young guy, maybe 35. Slicked back hair. Expensive suit. The judge was a woman. 60-ish. Reading glasses. No nonsense expression. She reviewed the petition. Looked up. Mr. Sullivan, you're seeking court-ordered visitation with your grandson, Thomas? Yes, Your Honor. Why? Because his parents won't let me see him. I've been a part of Tommy's life since he was born. I helped raise him. I watched him while his mother worked. We have a close relationship. They're using him to punish me. Punish you for what? For setting financial boundaries. The judge looked at Jennifer and Brad. Is this true? Their attorney stood. Your Honor, Mr. Sullivan has exhibited increasingly erratic behavior. He sold his home, moved into a senior facility, cut off his daughter financially, changed his will to exclude her. My clients are concerned about his mental state and believe it's in the child's best interest to limit contact. Erratic behavior. The judge looked at me. Mr. Sullivan, why did you sell your house? Because I'm a widower living alone in a house too big for one person. I moved to a senior living community where I have neighbors, meals, activities. It's a better fit. And why did you cut off your daughter financially? I hesitated. Linda nodded. Because my son-in-law called me a waste of space, on Christmas, in front of his family. My daughter didn't defend me. I realized I'd been taken for granted, so I set boundaries. What kind of boundaries? No more money. I've given my daughter $100,000 over 6 years. I told her I was done. The judge raised an eyebrow. $100,000? Yes, Your Honor. House down payment, wedding, car, medical bills, credit cards, emergency transfers. It added up. And now I'm protecting my assets. I changed my will to establish a trust for my grandson, to make sure he has money for college, for his future. And your daughter gets $5,000. The judge looked at Jennifer. Mrs. Howell, what's your response? Jennifer stood. Her voice shook. Your Honor, my father has been a wonderful grandfather. Tommy loves him, but his recent behavior has been concerning. He's isolated himself. He won't talk to us. He's obsessed with money. Obsessed with money? He's convinced we only care about his money. That's not true. We love him. We miss him. But he won't listen. Have you made efforts to reconcile? Yes. I've called. I've texted. I've apologized for what Brad said. But he won't forgive us. The judge looked at Brad. Mr. Howell, did you call your father-in-law a waste of space? Brad stood. Yes, Your Honor, I did. I'd been drinking. I said things I shouldn't have. I apologized. When? I left him voicemails. I called him. I told him I was sorry. Linda stood. Your Honor, I've reviewed those voicemails. Only one contained an apology. The others were defensive and accusatory. One told Mr. Sullivan to grow up. The judge frowned. Mr. Howell, is that accurate? Brad's face went red. I was frustrated. He was ignoring us. Because you insulted him. I apologized. After how long? I don't know. A few days. And since then, have you made efforts to repair the relationship? I tried. He won't talk to me. Can you blame him? Brad didn't answer. The judge looked at the file. I'm going to speak to Thomas. Privately. I want to hear what he wants. My heart sank. I didn't want Tommy in the middle of this. The judge called a recess. Tommy was brought in. Jennifer and Brad waited in the hall. Linda and I sat in the courtroom. 15 minutes later, the judge came back. Tommy was gone, sent back to the waiting area. The judge sat down. I've spoken to Thomas. He's articulate, mature for his age. He expressed a clear desire to see his grandfather. He misses him. He doesn't understand why he can't visit. Jennifer started crying. The judge continued. Based on the evidence and Thomas's testimony, I'm granting Mr. Sullivan's petition, court-ordered visitation, every other Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., pick up and drop off at a neutral location. Mr. and Mrs. Howell are prohibited from interfering with this visitation. Their attorney stood. Your Honor, we'd like to appeal. You can appeal, but the order stands until the appeal is heard. The gavel came down. Linda and I stood. I felt like I could breathe for the first time in weeks. Outside the courtroom, Jennifer grabbed my arm. Dad, please, don't do this. The judge already did it. You know what I mean. Don't take him from us. I'm not taking him. I'm spending time with him, like I always did. It's not the same. No, it's not, because now I have legal protection. You can't use him as leverage anymore. We weren't. Yes, you were. And now you can't. Brad stepped forward. You're a spiteful old man. You know that. And you're a parasite. So I guess we're even. Jennifer pulled Brad back. Come on, let's go. They left. I stood there with Linda. You okay? She asked. Yeah, I'm good. First visitation is Saturday. You ready? More than ready. Saturday morning, I drove to the neutral location, a public park. Jennifer and Brad were waiting. Tommy was with them. When he saw me, he ran. I caught him, held him tight. Grandpa! Hey, buddy, I missed you. I missed you too. Jennifer handed me a bag. His inhaler, in case he needs it, and a change of clothes. Okay. She looked at me, eyes red. Please be careful with him. I always am. Tommy and I left. Brad and Jennifer watched us go. We went to the Science Museum. Tommy loved it. Spent 2 hours in the electricity exhibit, asked me 100 questions. I answered every one. We had lunch at his favorite burger place. Then we went back to Meadowbrook. I showed him my apartment, introduced him to my neighbors. Joyce had cookies. Tommy ate 4. At 5:30, I drove him back to the park. Jennifer was waiting, alone. "Hi, Mom." Tommy ran to her, hugged her. "Hey, sweetie, did you have fun?" "Yeah. Grandpa took me to the Science Museum, and we had burgers, and I met his friend Joyce. She makes really good cookies." Jennifer looked at me. "Thank you." "You're welcome." "Dad, can we talk? Just for a minute?" I glanced at Tommy. "Go wait in your mom's car, buddy." He ran off. Jennifer stepped closer. "Dad, I'm sorry. For everything. For Brad. For using Tommy. For not standing up for you. You were right. I let him walk all over you, and I let him walk all over me." "Jennifer, no, let me finish. You were right about the money, too. We've been using you. Brad especially. And I let it happen because it was easier than fighting. But I'm done. I told Brad. No, more. We're on our own now. Good. I know you changed your will. I know Tommy's getting everything. I'm not mad. He deserves it, and I'm glad you're protecting him." "I'm protecting both of us," she smiled, sad. "I don't expect you to forgive me, but I hope someday we can, I don't know, start over." I looked at her, my daughter, 43 years old, tired, older than I remembered. "I don't need to forgive you, Jennifer. I just need you to respect me." "I will, I promise." I nodded. "Okay." She hugged me. I hugged her back. We stood there for a moment. Then she pulled away. "Same time next week?" "Same time." She got in her car. Tommy waved. I waved back. I drove home. Back to Meadowbrook. Back to my little apartment with the big windows. Joyce knocked on my door around 7 p.m. "Walter, we're playing cards. You in?" "Yeah, I'm in." We played gin rummy until 10 p.m. I won 3 games, lost 2. When I got back to my apartment, I made tea, sat in the armchair by the window. The courtyard was quiet, dark. I thought about Tommy, about Jennifer, about Brad. I thought about Martha, what she'd say about all this. She'd probably tell me I was being stubborn, that I should forgive Jennifer, move past it. But Martha wasn't here. And I'd done what I needed to do. I'd set boundaries, protected myself, protected Tommy. I wasn't a waste of space. I was a man who knew his worth, and that was enough. If you liked this story, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and share your impressions in the comments. To listen to more stories, click on the window on the right. Thank you for being with us.